Ladies and gentlemen, tennis fans from around the globe, and especially the passionate supporters in the Philippines, welcome. We stand on the brink of history, just hours away from a clash that is far more than a tennis match. It is a cultural event, a moment of national significance, and a potential turning point in the career of one of the sport's brightest young stars. Across the tennis world, anticipation is building, tension is mounting, and a storm is brewing that could upend the WTA challenger hierarchy. The headline making waves today declares, "Oh, Russia shocked. Alexandra Eala will explode Alina Kariva," a bold statement, a figurative declaration of war on the court. Yet, when we examine the matchup, the venue, the history, and the intensity of the moment, it becomes clear that this is no exaggeration. It is the reality of the high-pressure environment of the Philippine Women's Open. Alexandra Eala, the pride of the Philippines and the world number 49, the highest-ranked Filipina in history, is returning home for the first time since her days as a 12-year-old prodigy, long before the Rafa Nadal Academy, the Junior Grand Slams, or her professional breakthroughs. Alexandra Eala is now playing a competitive tournament on her home soil, not just any tournament, but the first-ever WTA 125 event hosted in Manila. The Rizal Memorial Tennis Center is expected to be a roaring cauldron of noise, a fortress of support that few players on tour ever experience. Standing in her way, however, is a formidable opponent who knows exactly how to dismantle her game: Alina Kariva, the Russian powerhouse and six-time ITF champion. Kariva has faced Eala before and emerged victorious. And make no mistake, the Russian Tennis Federation and Kariva's camp are not coming to Manila to hand over a trophy, they are coming to spoil the party. Ranked 163rd in the world, Kariva is a battle-hardened veteran who thrives in the trenches, a grinder who has lifted trophies on both clay and hard courts. She holds a 1-0 head-to-head advantage over Eala, having beaten her decisively in Spain back in 2020, and she believes she has a psychological edge. Yet the shock hinted at in the headlines is not about the past, it is about the transformation of Alexandra Eala. The Eala of 2026 is no longer the junior player Kariva defeated 6 years ago. She is now a top 50 talent who has gone toe-to-toe with Grand Slam champions, a young woman coming off the Australian Open, perhaps bruised by a first-round loss to Alicia Parks, but hungrier than ever for redemption. The narrative in Manila is one of potential explosion, with analysts predicting Eala will unleash a level of aggression and firepower that Kariva is ill-equipped to handle on a fast hard court. The real shock for Russia may well be the gulf in class that has developed over the years. Eala has ascended to the main tour, while Kariva is still fighting to get there, but as every tennis fan knows, the game is not played on paper. Between the lines, Kariva has a game built to frustrate, to extend rallies, and to force the young Filipina into errors under the crushing weight of home expectations. Imagine the scene: the sweltering humidity of Manila, the deafening roar of the crowd every time Eala hits a winner, and the icy resolve of a Russian determined to silence them all. This is more than a round of 32 match, it is a statement game. If Eala wins, she validates the hype and ignites a tennis boom across Southeast Asia. If Kariva wins, she sends a shockwave through the draw, proving that rankings mean little when the ball is in play. It is a classic David versus Goliath scenario with a twist. The Goliath is the young home favorite, and David is the experienced Russian spoiler. The headline declares that Eala will explode, and that is the central question. Will she explode with winners, dominating the court with her lefty spin and newfound power, or will she explode under pressure, giving Kariva the opening she needs? Over the next hour, every detail matters. Analysts will examine the biomechanics of Eala's forehand against Kariva's backhand defense, consider Manila's punishing conditions and how they favor the fitter player, and dissect the mental state of a 20-year-old superstar carrying the hopes of 115 million people. The question remains: can Alina Kariva, the six-time ITF champion, pull off the upset of the year, or is she walking into a buzzsaw? This is a deep dive, a breakdown, a confrontation unlike any other. This is Eala versus Kariva. Now, let us transition into the heart of this matchup. To understand why the round of 32 clash at the WTA 125 Manila is creating such seismic waves, we must deconstruct the two combatants, examining not just who they are, but how they play, where they come from, and what this match represents in the arc of their respective careers. Part 1. The Empress at Home, Alexandra Eala. If you have been following women's tennis, you know her trajectory. A junior prodigy, a graduate of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, and a US Open junior champion. Yet the transition from junior sensation to WTA professional is notoriously treacherous, a path on which thousands stumble. Eala, however, has not faltered, she has thrived, entering this tournament with a career-high ranking around number 49 in the world. That ranking is significant. It places her among the elite, guarantees direct entry into Grand Slams, and signals that she is no longer merely a prospect, but a contender. But context is everything. Eala arrives in Manila fresh off a painful Australian Open defeat to the big-serving American Alicia Parks. She started imperiously, bageling Parks 6-0 in the first set, only to see her power eclipsed as Parks took over and clinched the match in 3 sets. That loss stings, and while most players would have time to recover and recalibrate, Eala had no such luxury. She flew directly to Manila to headline the largest women's sporting event in Philippine history, carrying a weight of expectation that is almost impossible to quantify. Playing at home in tennis is a double-edged sword, as we've seen with Ashady in Australia and Andy Murray in Britain. The crowd can lift a player, but it can just as easily suffocate them. Alexandra Eala is only 20 years old, yet the expectations are enormous. She is not just expected to win, but to dominate. As the number 2 seed in the tournament, the casual fan envisions a final showdown against top seed Tatiana Maria, and anything less than lifting the trophy may feel like a disappointment. Tactically, Eala's game has evolved into a formidable weapon. Her left-handedness is her greatest natural advantage, with a cross-court forehand dripping with topspin that pulls right-handed opponents off the court, opening up lines for winners. Against a player like Kuriva, this pattern will be essential. Eala will need to follow a Nadal-inspired blueprint: heavy spin to the opponent's backhand to push them out wide, then flatten out the shot for the finishing blow. Yet questions remain about her serve. While speeds have improved, pressure moments still expose vulnerability. In Melbourne, against Alicia Parks, her serve wavered when the American attacked. Kuriva may not possess Parks' raw power, but she is a cunning, experienced opponent who can exploit even the smallest lapses in consistency. Kuriva is a returner. She will put the ball in play, and Eala will have to win this match from the baseline, a task that demands patience, a virtue she is still mastering. Part 2. The Russian Spoiler, Alina Kuriva. Let us examine the antagonist in this narrative, and I use that term strictly in a competitive sense. Do not let her ranking of 163 fool you. In women's tennis, the gap between number 50 and number 160 is often smaller than it appears on paper, a matter of a few key points in a few critical matches. Kuriva is 23 years old, 3 years Eala's senior, and she brings pedigree, a finalist at the 2020 French Open Juniors, the same year she defeated Eala. She is a 6-time ITF champion, and that accolade carries significant meaning. The ITF circuit is grueling and unglamorous, with small towns, modest prize money, and minimal support. Winning 6 titles at that level demands mental toughness, the ability to grind out victories, and the discipline to avoid self-inflicted errors. Kuriva's game is built on Russian fundamentals: flat, hard ground strokes, exceptional movement, and a refusal to miss. A counterpuncher who can transition to offense, she recently reached a career-high ranking of 142 in late 2025 and is clearly on an upward trajectory. She is not a journeywoman in decline, she is a hungry player aiming for the top 100. And here is the shock factor: Kuriva has nothing to lose. The stadium will be against her, the media is largely ignoring her, and the pressure is zero. That makes her dangerous. She can swing freely, confident in her ability to challenge Eala, recalling psychologically that she has beaten her before, yes, in 2020, yes, on clay, but victories like that linger in the mind far longer than rankings. Across the net, Kuriva does not see a top 50 superstar. She sees a girl she beat 6-3, 6-3 in Spain. That memory is a weapon, one she can replay in her mind to fuel confidence and unsettle Eala. Part 3. The Tactical Battlefield. How will this match play out on court? The surface at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center is an outdoor hard court. Historically, hard courts in Southeast Asia play medium-slow due to heat and humidity, but recent resurfacing may make the ball zip through. If the court is fast, advantage Eala her aggressive, first-strike tennis will be rewarded, and keeping points short is essential. Explode is the right word. She cannot get into 20-shot rallies with Kuriva, who is a wall. Trying to outgrind a Russian could lead to fatigue and unforced errors. Eala's strategy must be precise: serve wide, cross-court forehand to the corner, drive volley combination, a 1-2 punch. If the court plays slower and the air is heavy, the advantage shifts slightly toward Kuriva's consistency. Slower balls force Eala to take extra shots, giving errors the opportunity to creep in. The weather acts as a third player. Manila in January averages 28 to 30 degrees Celsius with high humidity. Kuriva, from Samara, Russia, and primarily training in Europe, faces a physiological challenge adapting to tropical conditions in just a few days. Eala, with Filipino heritage and prior experience in this climate, should handle the heat better, but the adrenaline and expectation of playing at home can provoke cramping and fatigue just as easily. Part 4. The Revenge Narrative. Let's return to their 2020 clash in Spain on clay. Kareeva won in straight sets when Eala was 15 and Kareeva 18. That loss marked a checkpoint in Eala's development, and now, 6 years later, she has the chance to rectify it. This is a classic student becomes master scenario, except now they are peers. The headline "Russia Shocked" reflects the expectation from the Russian tennis community. Kareeva is considered the solid favorite. Russian tennis schools produce disciplined, technically precise players who might view Eala's lefty spin as something they can handle and her Australian Open loss to Alicia Parks as a sign of vulnerability. Yet Eala's explosion comes from her evolved game. She now mixes shots effectively, deploys drop shots, comes to the net more, and can disrupt Kareeva's rhythm by pushing her forward and pulling her back. Kareeva thrives when the ball is at waist height in her strike zone, but Eala's heavy topspin forehand jumps above the shoulder. By hitting deep and high, Eala forces Kareeva to take the ball on the rise or retreat, creating discomfort and tactical advantage. This forehand versus strike zone battle will be central to the match. Part 5. The Significance of the Moment. A win here is more than just a victory, it is a milestone for Philippine tennis. For decades, the country has lagged behind Japan, China, and Thailand. Now, with Eala as a legitimate star, a commanding win, say, 6-2, 6-1 would send a clear message. I am the queen of this court. This is my house. It would mark the Philippines' arrival on the world tennis stage and inspire a generation of players hungry to follow in her footsteps. Decisive win terrifies the rest of the draw, solidifying Eala's standing. But if the match turns into a dogfight, going the distance in 3 sets, doubts begin to creep in. Imagine the silence in the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center if Kareeva were to take the first set, a pin drop moment in a stadium usually roaring for the home favorite. This is the drama we are witnessing, the collision of two different tennis worlds. On one side, the WTA elite, Alexandra Eala, world number 49. On the other, the ITF grinder, Elena Kareeva, world number 163. The gap in ranking points over 800 suggests a mismatch, but on the day, in the heat, under pressure, they are equals. Kareeva has won 6 ITF titles. She knows how to close matches. If Eala tightens up, if nerves hit her serve because she fears disappointing her grandmother in the front row, Kareeva has the experience to pounce. She won't panic, having played over 280 professional matches. She has seen it all. Yet the prediction of an explosion is based on Eala's current form. Despite the Australian Open loss, her ball striking is elite, and her return of serve percentage is climbing against Kareeva, whose serve is competent but not overpowering. Eala should be able to dictate points off the return, stepping inside the baseline on second serves to take the ball early, cutting off angles. If she does so, the explosion is happening. If she retreats 5 feet behind the baseline, looping balls back, she is playing Kareeva's game, and fans are in for a long grinding night. Zooming out, the match is a watershed moment for both players. For Alexandra Eala, this is a homecoming. She spent her adolescence in Europe, training and grinding as a lonely warrior abroad. Returning to Manila, a victory here validates the sacrifices she and her family made and inspires a new generation of Filipino tennis players that world-class success is possible. An explosive win sets the tone for a tournament run that could culminate in lifting her first WTA 125 trophy on home soil, a moment that would be iconic. For Elena Kareeva, the stakes are equally high but different. This is the ultimate audition. Beating a top 50 player in her home country could jumpstart her career, attract sponsors, and build the belief needed to crack the top 100. Even in defeat, pushing Eala to the limit proves that she belongs on this stage. The headline, "Russia Shocked," works both ways, either shocked by Kareeva's victory or by the ruthless dominance of Eala's game. The predicted explosion represents the convergence of talent and opportunity. Eala has the weapons, the lefty advantage, the crowd, and the form. Yet sports remain beautiful because, no matter the analysis, nothing is certain until the ball crosses the net. Tennis is unscripted. The ball can hit the net cord. A line call can be tight. The sun can get in your eyes. Yet here is my final verdict. The difference in class between world number 49 and world number 163 exists for a reason. Eala plays at a speed and intensity that Kareeva does not see every week on the ITF circuit. The real shock for Kuriva will be the sheer weight of the shots coming off Eala's racket unless Kuriva delivers the match of her life or Eala succumbs to the emotional weight of playing at home. Barring that, the Filipina should overpower the Russian. Expect a tight first set as Eala manages her nerves, followed by a runaway second set as she finds her rhythm. We are witnessing the maturation of a star. Sometimes stars are forged through fire. Kuriva is the fire, and Eala is the steel. In Manila, we will see whether the steel has been tempered or whether it melts under pressure. To all the fans watching, do not blink. This is not just a round of 32 match. This is the main event. This is the battle for Manila. For those who want to stay ahead of the curve on rising WTA stars and follow every twist and turn of Alexandra Eala's historic home campaign, subscribe to this channel. We will break down post-match stats, press conference quotes, and tactical adjustments for the next round immediately after the final ball is struck. Don't just watch the tennis, understand the story behind the swing. The court is ready. The players are ready. Let the games begin.